Leisure, the goal. Leisure the goal.
Shit, I'm gonna kill this one, bruh.
Guaje que se la devuelve. ¡Qué golazo! ¡Qué golazo! ¡Qué golazo! ¡Qué golazo de la selección española! ¡Qué golazo de la rojimática!
Hello guys and welcome to the VPG World Cup knockout stage live draw. If you just give me a second, I'll make sure a few more people are tuning in. Just hold up a second. I'm just going to make sure my mic is working. Just make sure in the comment section, let me know which nation you are supporting and let me know if my mic and everything is working, guys. Yes, it is. Perfect. So guys, I'm going to show you all of the standings from the VPG World Cup. We have from Group A to L and 32 of the best nations in Europe, Asia, Africa and Americas qualified to the top 32 teams. We have Tim Snodge from VPG Balkan. Welcome to the stream. We have Dimmy from Holland. Welcome guys from wherever you're from. Welcome to the stream. So I'm going to show you guys the 32 nations that are taking part, obviously, how the knockout stages are going to work, and obviously the tables and a little bit of content. So before we get started, let's move across into the standings and the nations that are taking part in the knockout stages qualification. So it's in no particular order, but Group K, we saw Germany and Mexico go through with 15 and 12 points. Bosnia, I think they got knocked out in third place. I think it was the 8 best third place positions qualified, and Bosnia just missed out by 1 point. We had Spain and Canada which qualified, and Scotland just about got through. So Scotland are through to the top 32 teams in the knockout stages. Now Group J, we have Poland and Saudi Arabia. They qualified, and Morocco also qualified for the best 8th positions. Group I, we have Japan and Tunisia automatically qualified, and Venezuela got through on the best 8 third positions. Group G, we have Holland top in that group, fantastic, with France in second, and China also got through in the 8th best third positions. Now Group H, we have Turkey and Egypt automatically qualified, and in third place Greece, 10 points, still a lot of points, but for coming in third, also qualified in the third slots. So Group E, we saw England and Finland automatically qualify, and Russia just missed out by 1 point, so Russia and obviously Slovakia were eliminated for Group E. For Group F, Italy and Belgium were promoted into the top 32, and Austria just missed out by 1 point for the top third positions for Group F. Now Group B, Norway and Romania automatically qualified, and USA got one of those best third ranking slots into the knockout stages. And then Group C, we saw India top that group, and Iraq, both of them with the same points, but India topped it with better goal difference, and Algeria also qualified for the best third positions. Group D, we saw Slovenia top that group, winning 5 from 6. Only 4 goal difference though, but still they did the job. Hong Kong coming in second, automatically qualified, and Ukraine just missed out, only got 4 points in third position, so Ukraine did not make it through to the knockout stages. And then Group A, Portugal automatically topped it, winning 6 from 6, even on the El Salvador host. That's crazy, winning 6 from 6 from that. Hungary came through in second. Oh wow, second, third and fourth, but all got 6 points, but it went on goal difference. So yeah, Hungary just about got through, and Denmark, I think they got through on goal difference. I think it was, they got the last slot for the best 8th third positions. Welcome to the stream, guys. Burnt Valley from Romania, welcome. And then Group K, we saw Germany and Mexico automatically qualify. I think we've already done this one. Yep. And Bosnia got knocked out. So they are the 32 nations that automatically qualified into the competition. Before we get started and into the draw, I'm going to go through a little bit of rules so you guys understand the nations on what they need to do for the knockout stages. Before we get started, I'm going to show you how it works. So the teams on the left of the screen, that'll be in pot 1. So the 16 teams on the left and the 16 teams on the right. So all the teams in pot 1 will be added to the slots on the left, and in pot 2 will be on the right. So we'll do all the pot 1s first, and then the pot 2s after it. So it's going to be the same as it is now, as it usually is. The knockout stages and the live ball system, as you can see on the screen, pot 1 and pot 2. 16 nations who qualified based on obviously the positions from the group stages. So that's how it's going to start. Also, you might select play on the right hand side. Something new we've added, we can change it, different sort of players, as you can see. It's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little bit of content, some of the best highlights in the group stages so far. So sit tight and give us a couple minutes, and we'll be ready for the live draw.
Backs stepping up to the plate, green timed, and a great save by Gibbo. All power, just has to throw himself at it, the keeper. Tiku! Finland have found the first goal of the game, and potentially the first goal in the group, and potentially the winning goal here in this game against England. There is still time for the Three Lions to bounce back, but Finland have done the damage.
Já temos imagens da seleção de equipamentos, estou só à espera das imagens do estádio da Hungria. A manter a calma e a agarrar. Bola batida lá para a frente e ganha de cabeça. Atenção, pode fazer o passe, sai para o meio, vai ser balada! Gol! É do Portugal!
De Seda tocando para Bazán. Bazán para Yassin, Yassin Bazán. Bazán para Skysa. ¡Gol!
OK， 又反搶成功，左邊翼位開始發難啦。
望到遠處嘛？唔係俾遠處，定翻地波，回翻出嚟，中間射啊，入啊，1-0啊，輕鬆入樽。好，5分鐘嘅時候，港隊。
Elle va passer une fois, vous inquiétez pas, Zizou la récup, on en parlait, Zizou, très bonne récup qui va chercher Angelo, la passe en retrait pour Zizou, Poulga encore, le jeu en triangle, le jeu sur l'aile, Angelo, la passe, Maître Dragon, j'ai cru qu'il allait faire quelque chose et finalement Maître Dragon, la virgule et le but. Et le but, Wizix qui vient marquer sur un excellent travail sur le côté gauche, le jeu en triangle entre Zizou, Angelo et Poulga, Angelo qui vient rentrer dans...
Okay guys, so we are back and we are ready to do the knockout stage draw. We're going to get started with pot number 1, guys. So we're going to do from team 1 to 16 for the pots. So we're going to get started right now. So guys, let me know which country you think is going to win. Let us know in the comment section on YouTube. And if you are new to the channel, so hit that subscribe button, as we do try to post as quickly as we can and get as much content out there as possible. Okay, so let's go across into the live drawing system, where we're going to be drawing out the first 16 nations from pot 1. So as you can see on the left hand side, there is 5, there's 6 in the middle, and there's 5 on the right hand side. So we're going to start doing that now. I'm going to show you guys how it's going to go. So moving across into the live drawing system. The first nation. Let's go across into the World Cup pot 1. Okay guys, as you can see here, the first nation that will be pulled out of the virtual ball system will be the first fixture for the pots of 1. Let's take a look to see who it will be. And the first nation is England. So England are the first team in pot 1. As you can see there on the screen, England are in fixture number 1. Now let's move across into the live ball system. Let's see who's going to be the second nation from pot 1. So the teams from pot 1, they can't play each other. We're just going to do all the pot 1s first, and then we'll do the pot 2 second, which will make it a little bit more suspense when we do all the pot 1 first. So the second nation being pulled out is Italy. So Italy are the second nation. They will be in the second fixture. Let's move across into it again. Let's get the third nation. The third nation from pot number 1. Let's take a look to see who it's going to be. We have VBG Balkan hoping it's Slovenia, England. And it's Romania. So Romania are the third fixture. Now let's move across into the next one. We'll start seeing who the teams will face once we get into the pot number 2. I think this is the 4th fixture. We have Poland. So that is the 4th nation being pulled out, which is Poland. Let's take a look to see who the 5th one will be. It's all random, guys, by this virtual system. And it's Norway. So the 5th nation pulled out is Norway. Fantastic nation. Some very experienced players in Norway. They are the 5th nation to be pulled out of the virtual ball system. Now moving across into the 6th. Let's take a look to see who we will have. And it's Holland. Holland did a fantastic show in the group stages. Even though they had a tough opponent, France, which is probably one of the favourites to win it, Holland did top the group. So Holland are a nation to watch out for in this competition. So Holland were the 6th nation to be pulled out. Let's take a look to see who will be the 7th. Top admin in Norway. We have Belgium. Belgium also did a strong start to the campaign in the group stages. So watch out for them as well. So Belgium were the 7th team to be pulled out of the virtual system. Let's move across into the 8th. We'll start to find out to see which nations will play each other very shortly. So we'll do all the pot 1s first, and then the pot 2 is when we'll see who they play. And it's Germany. So Germany will be the 8th team. So halfway through the pot 1. I think Germany topped their group. Just about. I think Mexico were just underneath them. Going across into the 9th. Borussia, yep. Borussia, the manager. He's been manager for quite a while now. Very most well-known goalkeeper in the German community. We have Japan. So Japan are the 9th nation to be pulled out into the draw. Let's move across into the 10th. We have Spain, a fantastic community, very big in the VPG, the Spanish community. And we have Leo Madiba, who is the head deputy for Spain. And he's the one doing all the beautiful casting that you saw in the group stages. So watch out for Spain, some fantastic players. Jairo Jimenez. There's literally so many I could mention. There's Bazan, Cesar. Literally, yeah, the Spanish community. Watch out for them. They're probably one of the favourites to win the competition as well. And Spain are the 10th nation to be pulled out. Now moving across into the 11th. Let's see who we will have. We have Portugal, another fantastic community. They've got players from Poise, Beckley Capagi. You probably recognise those names. Famalicão. Literally 3 of the top teams from Portugal in the Esports Premier. So Portugal is another strong nation. Also a favourite to go very far in this competition and even win it. So they are the 11th team in pot number 1. Now moving across into the 12th. Slovenia, they've done very well as well. Can't wait to see how far they get in this competition. And we have Mexico. We have Mexico for the 12th nation to be pulled out of pot number 1. Mexico had a very strong campaign as well. Many strong nations. I mean, the more World Cups and international competitions we do, many nations will start to improve and get better, and the quality overall will continue to improve over different FIFAs. Oliver Ortiz, basically how it works is that we have club football and internationals. So the best players from obviously domestic leagues, we choose a manager for the national team. And for example, Holland will be represented by like the best 25 Dutch players that compete in the Dutch league or VPG Europe. Same for England, Italy play in the Italian league, etc., etc. That's how it works. They're not really looking for players now, as they already started like a month ago. That's the best I can explain it. Okay, now moving across into nation number 13 from group number 1, pot number 1. So there's four nations left in pot 1. Let's see who it's going to be. And it's Slovenia. Nation number 13, which is Slovenia. Moving across into nation 14. And nation 14 is India. Now, India, they top their group, so that's another nation to watch out for. Some very strong teams and players that compete in VPG India community. So watch out for them. A very strong force of players, so watch out for India, guys. Vascular, it's basically the Pro Clubs World Cup knockout stages. So we're doing all the pot 1s first, the nations that finish in the group's top 2 or the best third slots, and then after that we'll do the pot number 2 after pot number 1. Okay, so now we've got 2 nations left in pot number 1, so let's move across to that. So the second to last nation from pot number 1, we have Turkey. And then the last nation in pot number 1, let's take a look to see who it is. And it's Hong Kong. So there are your 16 nations from pot number 1, guys. We're going to move across. This is where it's going to get exciting. We're going to move across into pot number 2. So pot number 2 is the slots where they either came in second or the best 8 third slots. Just waiting for my system to load, guys. Give me a moment, and then we'll continue. We have FPC HK in the chat system now. The Hong Kong community, welcome into the stream. And we have the balls ready for pot number 2, guys. Welcome VPG Spain. We have Leo Madiba. I'll show you the knockout stage draw so far. So we're just done. I can't do it the way you do it, but yeah, it's crazy. So they're all the pot 1. So pot 1's just been drawn out. So now we're going to see who they come up against. But before we get started, guys, I'm going to inform you about a little bit of information that you all do need to know. So I'm going to share with you this now. Excuse me. So for the knockout stage competition, guys, each team will play each other twice in the knockout stage format. The scores will be counted from both games, with the winner going through into the next round of the knockout stage. If the scores are tied, so for example, if England win 4-1 against Wales and Wales beat England 5-2, England will go through on away goals. So if the scores are different, but that kind of say for example 4-1 or 5-2, so basically they both scored the amount of goals, we do away goals because obviously we can't do another 2 matches. However, if the scores are tied and both games are a draw, so let's say for example England and Wales 2-2, and then the second game Wales and England 1-1, the game will go into extra time and penalties. So that is the only time it goes into extra time and penalties, is when both games are a draw and we can automatically go into that stage of the game. So how it works with the pots, as we're just showing you on the screen, the 12 nations that finished in first place were in pot number 1, and they were joined by the best 4 ranked second place teams in the groups. And then for the 8 nations that came in second, and then the 8 best third positions qualified into the knockout stage in pot number 2. So pot 1s can't play against each other, and pot 2s can't play each other. So it's pot 1s versus pot number 2. The squad roster size is 25. If you need to make some changes for the knockout stages, you can. You just need to remove some players from your roster and add some new nations into it. You have to make sure all nations are from your country only as well. You can't be signing players outside of your country for the knockout stages. And obviously, guys, you do know all the other rules with fair play, cheating, the match calendar, and obviously lateness as well. We have VPG Mexico in the building. Welcome. Okay, guys, we are ready to roll for this live draw now. We're ready to do the nations in pot number 2. So let's get underway. Let's go. Okay, so the next nation that gets pulled out of the virtual system will be playing England. So the first nation that gets pulled out of pot number 2 will be playing against England. So let's take a look who that will be. Let's go. So England will be playing against Hungary. England versus Hungary. That is the first fixture of the Pro Clubs World Cup knockout stages. England versus Hungary. Now the next ball that comes out of the system will be playing against Italy. So let's move across to see who that will be. The next one will be playing against Italy. Let's see if it's going to be your nation, if you're still waiting. And it's Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia versus Italy. A close match that will be. I'm pretty sure they've met before in the competition in the previous FIFAs. That is the second fixture of the night. We have Italy versus Saudi Arabia. Okay, guys, now moving across into the next one. The next nation will be playing against Romania. Let's take a look to see who Romania will be playing. And of course, let me just make sure that they aren't in the same group. Romania and Egypt. Yes, Egypt weren't in that group, so yeah, that is fine. Romania versus Egypt. That is the third fixture. Romania versus Egypt. Now for the next one, we'll see Poland. The next nation from pot number 2 will be playing against Poland. Now Poland topped their group. Saudi Arabia was in Poland's group and Poland did top it. So let's take a look to see who Poland will be playing now. with Venezuela. So Poland versus Venezuela. That's going to be a very tough match. Obviously, it's going to be, you would expect, obviously, Poland to win on the Polish host and obviously Venezuela to win on the Venezuelan host. It's just going to be, they both have to have a game plan for that one. I reckon they both have to sit up defensively for the away leg and hoping to score as much goals as they can on their own to qualify into the next stage of the knockout round system. So that is Poland versus Venezuela. Now for the next one we have Norway. So Norway did top their group obviously because they are the team from pot number 1, and in their group was Romania, USA and Libya. Norway won 5 out of the 6 and only losing 1 game. Let's take a look to see who Norway are going to have. So Norway will be taking on Finland. That is a very, very tough match, and I'm sure those two nations have met many times before. Two very strong nations. Norway versus Finland. That is definitely going to be an exciting game. An important one to watch for the round of 32 of the World Cup knockout stages. So it's Norway versus Finland. A Scandinavian battle, as people are putting in the comment section. But what a game that will be. We have Larsen in the comment section. He's a player for the Danish national team. Welcome to the stream, Larsen. Now the next fixture is Holland's. So let's take a look to see who Holland or the Netherlands will be playing in the next round. So Holland topped their group. Group G it was. They won 5 out of their last 6 games, only losing to China on the Chinese leg, on the Chinese host, sorry. And then in second place was France. So Holland, let's take a look to see who they'll be playing. Just to let you know, guys, the nations can't play each other in the same group. So if, for example, if France does come up next, then France will play against Belgium. So that's how it's going to work, guys. So obviously, if you get drawn against a nation that was already in your group, we move it across into the next one. Because we're doing Holland's now, if we get France, because we're in the same group, that will automatically go to the next fixture. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Just saying it before, in case it happens. In your opinion, who is the underdog? I'll talk about the underdogs once all the full fixtures have been released. I'll give my predictions and who the favourites are and who are the underdogs, etc, etc. Obviously, the American nations like Mexico, Venezuela, we have USA. Obviously, not many of us know the player system in that community, so I'd say the America nations, I wouldn't say they're the underdogs. We know they're very strong, but we aren't familiar. We don't play you guys on a regular basis. So, but yeah, it's good. It's good to have strong nations from the Americas dominating. So it would be good to see. Let's continue. The next nation will be playing against Holland. However, guys, if it is France that gets pulled up, then France will be playing against Belgium because France were in the same group as Holland. So let's take a look to see who it was going to be. Oh, yep, our luck. So France have been pulled up. Scudger mentioned that. Because France and Holland were in the same group, they were in Group G, France will be playing against Belgium. Because it will go straight to the next one. So Belgium will be playing France. Because Holland had France in their group stage already. Okay, guys, so the next nation that will get pulled out of the draw, I knew it. That's why I said it, didn't I? Because I had a feeling. France are going to get pulled up here. So literally, it's just the timing, the broadcasting time and all that. Also, if China do get pulled up, because obviously China were in the same group as Holland, China will be playing against Germany. So if China does get put up next, they'll be playing against Germany and not Holland. So let's take a look. The next nation, hopefully, if it's not China, will be playing against Holland in the knockout stages is Morocco. So that works. Morocco weren't in Holland's group. So Holland will be playing Morocco. So Holland versus Morocco, guys. The PS4 Morocco recruiter. If you message the Moroccan admin, if you message in the PS4 chat on the VPG Europe Discord, I will help you get in contact with the Moroccan admin and he can get you in touch with the Morocco side for the PS4. But I think most of the Moroccan community are on PS5 now. I think they switched not long ago. But I'll check for you after the stream. Okay, guys. Germany. So the next nation that will be poured up will be playing against Germany. Germany are a fantastic community, one of the largest communities in the VPG. They were in Group K of the competition. They won 5 out of their last 6 games. Mexico were in their group as well. So, yeah, I think if Mexico... Yeah, wait, Mexico... Yeah, okay, it's fine. Okay, all good. Yep, Holland is a great team, definitely. So the next nation getting pulled up will be playing against Germany. Who's it going to be? It's Canada. Canada will be playing against Germany in the round of 32. Canada versus Germany. That's going to be some match. It's going to be similar to Venezuela and Poland. They have to win as many goals as possible on their home leg and try to defend as much as they can on the away leg. And for the next one, we have Japan. So Japan topped their group, winning 3 from 6, drawing 1 and losing 2. With 9, they were the only nation in their group to have a positive goal difference of 9. So Japan topped their group. So if Tunisia happens to get pulled up now, then Tunisia will play against Spain because Tunisia were in Japan's group. So Omar Solomon has just asked a question. What if a team wins the first leg 1-0 and then loses the second leg 1-0? So basically there won't be it depends, because we can't just say there'll be a third match. For example, it's unfair if it's China versus England. We can't just say, oh yeah, that's going to be on English host, because that would be unfair to the China national team. So if it does happen where both games do finish 1-0, 1-0, both of the 2 games will be started again. So they'll have to replay again both games. They won't be able to do extra time and penalties because as soon as extra time and penalties only works in pro clubs if the game is a draw. So if it's like 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, that's when extra time works. So those both 2 games will have to start again. Okay. Yeah. You're right. My bad. Tunisia are already there. So the next nation pulled out of the system will be playing against Japan. Let's take a look to see who it's going to be. And it's China. We have China versus Japan. Now those two probably wouldn't mind playing each other because they're on the same region. They probably won't have any lag, so that'll benefit both of them. We have Japan versus China. It's going to be a very strong match, that one. It's going to be a very tough match. Now for the next one, we have VPG Spain, the Spanish community. They were in Group L of the competition. I'm going to show you this quickly, guys. Not this one. Not this one. This is the one. This is a bit of Spanish.
Tocando para Bazán. Bazán para Yacine. Yacine Bazán. Bazán para Sky.
Fantastic look to see. So Spain will play Canada in the group stage. As you can see, Leo Madiba. Fantastic. So that is the Spanish community. So we'll see who Spain are going to face in the knockout stages. In their group, they had Canada and Scotland. Canada have been pulled up. So if Scotland do come out of this virtual system, Scotland will be playing against the next nation, which is Portugal. So Scotland can't play against Spain because they were in the same group. So let's take a look to see who it's going to be. Playing against Spain is USA. Spain versus USA. Going to be a very tough match. They have to defend on the away leg and score as much goals as possible on the home leg. What a match that's going to be. Spain versus USA. I don't think they've ever met before. So it will be a very interesting game, that one. Now for the next one, we have Portugal. Now Portugal in the competition, they were in Group A, joined alongside Hungary, Denmark and El Salvador. Portugal dominated that group, winning 6 from 6 with a massive 14 goal difference. So Portugal are one of the favourites to win. Hungary have already been pulled up against England. Denmark haven't been pulled up yet. So if Denmark do get pulled up now in the pot system, then Denmark will be playing against Mexico. So Denmark will be playing against Mexico if they get pulled up next, because they can't play Portugal as they were in the same group. So let's take a look to see who it's going to be. So if it's Denmark, they will not be playing Portugal. Just if it comes up in case. And it is Iraq. So Iraq will be playing against Portugal. Iraq, a very other strong nation, did very well in this World Cup in the group stages. So that will be a very tough test for Portugal. Two very strong nations there. Portugal versus Iraq. And this one, we have Mexico. Let's take a look to see who will be playing Mexico in the next round of the competition. And it is Scotland. Scotland will be playing Mexico. Scotland just about made it through on the best 8 third slots in the group stages. So Scotland play Mexico in the next stage of the competition. Yeah, Wales came bottom of their group, so Wales are out of the competition. So the next one, we have Slovenia. We have Slovenia. Let's take a look to see which group they were in now. So Slovenia were in Group D. Slovenia were in Group D. They won 5 of their last 6 games. Goal difference was 4. And they obviously Coming second was Hong Kong. And Ukraine, who came third, they're out of the competition. So the next team, next nation, will be facing off against Slovenia. Let's take a look to see who it will be. Facing off against Slovenia, we have Greece. Greece only just made it through as well. I'll let you know some information on where they came in the competition. So Greece will face off against Slovenia. Let's take a look to see where Greece came. Greece came in third position in Group H with Turkey, Egypt. Greece also got, to be fair, Greece did win 3, draw 1 and lost 2. So they did have 10 points. I think they had the best third position slot, but did qualify coming third. So fantastic for Greece. And they'll face off against Slovenia. Now for the next one we have India. India, I think they topped their group, they did. So India were in Group C with Iraq, Algeria and Trinidad and Tobago. India won 3, drew 1 and lost 2 with a massive goal difference of 10. Let's take a look to see who they will face in the round of 32. So playing against India. If you are the 3 nations left, it could be you. Let's take a look. And it is Tunisia. India versus Tunisia. What a game that one's going to be. India versus Tunisia. 2 nations left of the draw. And we have Turkey and we have Hong Kong. So let's move across into Turkey's group. Turkey were in Group H with Egypt and Greece, and Turkey topped that group, winning 4 from 6, drawing 1 and only losing 1 with 13 points. Let me just take a look. So Greece and Egypt have both been pulled up. So yeah, the next nation will be playing against Turkey. And who is it going to be facing off against Turkey? And we have Algeria. We have Algeria versus Turkey. What a game that one's going to be. So Algeria, I think they came in 2nd or 3rd place. Let me take a look now. They came in 3rd place, winning 2, drawing 2 and losing 2. 0 goal difference with 8 points, and they had Iraq and India in their group. So Algeria just got through. They have a tough test against Turkey. Turkey, a fantastic community. Some very strong players from MKE and Karaguku and Talia, and obviously the Turkish community, EFL and VPG Turkey. So it's going to be a very tough test for the Algerians coming up against Turkey. Now for the last match of the night, we have Hong Kong. They came in 2nd position with 13 points, but also obviously got into pot 1. And let's take a look to see who they will be playing against. And the only nation left in the competition. And it's going to be Denmark. So Denmark were the last nation to be put in the competition because they came the last ranked 3rd slot. They just about made it into the qualifiers. They've got a fantastic squad of players. Let's see how they'll get on against Hong Kong. So that is your round of 32, guys. That is your round of 32. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And I'll let you know what I think as well. Fantastic. We have England versus Hungary. We have Italy taking on Saudi Arabia. We have Romania versus Egypt. We have Poland versus Venezuela. We have Norway versus Finland, the battle of the Scandinavians. We have Holland versus Morocco. We have Belgium versus France, which is a very similar community, both French-speaking communities. So that'll be the battle of the French-speaking. We have Germany versus Canada. We have Japan versus China, the battle of Asia. We have Spain versus United States of America. We have Portugal versus Iraq. We have Mexico versus Scotland. We have Slovenia versus Greece. We have India taking on Tunisia. Turkey versus Algeria. And Hong Kong taking on Denmark. So that is how the knockout stages will be for the round of 32 on the VPG. So guys, the standings will be shown on the website most likely tomorrow morning, and obviously we'll get the games published and set for this Saturday. You can tune into the VPG channel on YouTube to watch England versus Hungary. They'll be joined by George Overton, the caster for the England national team squad. Will be live on this channel for the two games on Saturday at 9:15 and 9:15 kickoff UK time. So that is it, guys. Obviously, thank you all for watching. That is the round of 32. This weekend it will kick off. And yeah, I'll go over a few predictions before I end the stream. Let's take a look. I think the nation that will probably win the competition, I'm only going to choose one nation that will win, and obviously the underdogs. I think the nation to win the whole competition will be, I'm going to go with Spain. I think Spain will probably win the whole competition for the World Cup. And for the underdogs, I'm going to go with Hong Kong. I think Hong Kong have got a very strong side. I think they're probably one of the best in Asia. So the underdogs are Hong Kong. I think they can probably go all the way. So Spain and the underdogs, Hong Kong. Obviously, England have got a very strong side. Italy, etc. There's a lot of strong nations. I'm just predicting just from one. I see a few comments from Xbox. The Xbox World Cup will be starting soon. I don't have control of that. It's the Xbox admins that have added all the nations into a World Cup chat, and that will be announced very soon. So Xbox will start in February. All the captains have been notified. We'll do an announcement in the coming days for the World Cup on Xbox. Also for PC, that will start in February, but I think they're starting the Champions League first, and then obviously the World Cup afterwards. So this one is for PlayStation 5 on FIFA 23 Pro Clubs. And that is it, guys. Best of luck in your club football tomorrow for VPG Europe and all your domestic leagues to take part in. And we'll see you guys this weekend for more World Cup Pro Clubs action. Take care.
Sherman to kill this one, bruh.
Guaje que se la devuelve. ¡Qué golazo!